Now let's get into your reading and see what's going on here. I'm going to start with the past because I think it's very pertinent to what's happening in the present and your opportunities in the future. So for the past, you received the Page of Cups and the Seven of Swords. Let's talk about the Seven of Swords first. Someone is stealing from you or doing something underhandedly behind your back. Some type of secrets maybe are going on in the backdrop. It's like somebody wants to win a game without playing fair and square. They would rather do underhanded things to win instead of lose and have dignity from loss. But you're diplomatic enough and wise enough to outsmart the sly fox, but you haven't been acting like that in the past because you received the Page of Cups. And he's very immature in his actions and his emotions. And normally he's a little too busy being depressed from unrequited love or falling head over heels in love. Love is his aim and fantasies are his game. And the spiritual world is his plane. He's an idealist, a sentimentalist, and an unrealistic dreamer. And he's usually wearing rose-colored glasses and not seeing things for what they really are. And maybe somebody is stealing from you, but when I see the Seven of Swords, it's normally somebody stealing your emotions. They're the emotional vampire that's sucking you dry. And then again, the Page of Cups can bring news and messages. But sometimes he's more of a gossiper and has an overactive imagination about how he assimilates things. Now down in the base of your spine for sourcing and urgings, you receive the Star and Temperance. Two major arcana cards. The Star is about hope and healing. Whatever happened with the Seven of Swords, and you overlooking things because you're a little too busy with your emotions with the Page of Cups, has made you now want to go into a healing mode. I think the Temperance has woke you up a little bit, and now you're looking at reality. And you're starting to moderate, where the Page of Cups was going off the chart. And the Star is more of the grounding force here. It's having you find your position in your little microcosm and on the earth. And the Star also has you find your position relative to the celestial stars that are constant and fixed. This is a time for you to review where you've been, what you're doing right now, and where you want to go, and what's your purpose in life, and what will make you happy. And this is reinforced by the pelvic and sacrum for awakening and arousing. Receive the Two of Pentacles. Any two is a decision card. Balance, partnership. It's time to make some decisions, and you're juggling these decisions around, and it's time not to drop the ball while you're juggling. But the clarification card is the Eight of Wands. The card of sudden change, or maybe it's just sudden decision. But the Eight of Wands can also be a message or some type of news. And that can be connected to the Page of Cups too. So it seems like you've been juggling some ideas around and you haven't been quite sure of what to do, but maybe the universe is making the decision for you, and very quickly. Now up above in your solar plexus, you receive the Ten of Pentacles, the card of contentment and satisfaction. It's usually considered the retirement card where you have the luxury of comforts, but not all of us are in retirement age, and it just says you are content and satisfied. You might not have all the luxuries, but you have enough that make you comfortable. And the clarification card is the Six of Wands. It's saying that you were a victor in some type of contest or competition, and you're doing your honor lap where you're being recognized for your accomplishments. But gravity always pushes you back down to earth, and it's time for you to humble yourself and go back to your regularly scheduled program. It's time to take on more responsibilities, because the center card for the heart of the matter is the King of Swords. He makes rules and regulations, verbal and written, for civility. He makes structure and organization. All of a sudden, you're taking control of your life. You had to make some decisions, and I think now the King of Swords is making these decisions for you. He's standing behind and watching your back. Now the clarification card is the Six of Swords. And it's a moving on card. It's going from tumultuous waters to more tranquil waters. And this has the same theme as down there in the throat for communicating and teachings. Receive the Chariot. He's about moving forward. The whole card is about motion. And it's also about self-control. The Chariot card has the military guise to it to remind you that it's about discipline and regulating your willpower. He wants you to be victorious by overcoming your oppositions. It really is about opposing forces. The Hanson Roberts card really hit it on the nail when they put the yin and yang symbol on the front of his chariot. So it wants to remind you to have self-control versus lack of control. Don't get drawn into the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde syndrome, because all it's going to do is hinder your progress. But I don't know if that's the problem here, because the clarification card is the Nine of Cups, the wish card. And it's been coming up so often, and it's made me want to say, curiosity killed the cat, and everybody forgets the second line, and satisfaction brought him back. And the Nine of Cups is about satisfaction, contentment, happiness. And this contentment is reinforced by the card up in the third eye for seeing and envisioning as the Empress. She's the Mother Earth, the Alamata, the nourishing mother of all, and symbolizes fertility and creation, love. She's telling you to cultivate your conscious ideas and enjoy what the material world has to offer. But before you do that, you have to go with the clarification card of the Hermit. He's indicating that you have a desire for change in your unconscious inner self before you start enjoying the conscious foreself. It's time for you to go on a soul journey of self-discovery. You're seeking guidance from his staff and wisdom from the light in his lamp for enlightenment. The funny thing is, at the end of your hermit journey, you realize that you knew the answers all along to the questions that you were asking. Now up above in the crown, you receive the Queen of Pentacles. She's about practical matters. She's a pragmatist. She's got a grip on reality. And this is good because the clarification card is justice. And when justice shows up in a spread, it normally means something's been out of balance. Now with the Queen's practical stature, she's the one that can put things back into balance and into equilibrium. And perhaps whoever's been stealing from you down there with the Seven of Swords is going to receive the sort of accountability from justice. Now, justice can also be about legal matters, contracts, negotiations, agreements that typically are going your way. But whatever it is, your past actions are connected to your present state of affairs. Now, we've discussed the past, so let's skip over to the future. And the main card is the Three of Wands. Yeah, Wands is fire energy for Aries. And now you've got your shit together. Things are working out well for you. Three of Wands is a card about movement. You've made some plans and now you're making these plans a reality. And the clarification card was the Hierophant. You might think that's a funny place for having somebody that represents traditional religious teachings or beliefs. But maybe now you understand the beliefs that you have. And you're fueled on some types of truths. You're no longer back at the Seven of Swords and somebody stealing from you, and the Page of Cups where your head's in the clouds and you're in fantasy land. All of a sudden, you've accepted what the truth is. So you can go forward with the Three of Wands with the plans that you've made. Let's go back to the Seven of Cups. That's really splayed energy. It's about a difficult decision or decisions. But it's in an atmosphere of chaos and illusion and fantasy. Wishing is one thing and making it come true is another. Each cup holds pleasures and treasures, or disenchantments and disappointments. The enticement of so many choices has your head spinning. And there's also a temptation involved in this cup about sexual and emotional folly, which is extremely strong and drawing you towards it. And you have to get out of your kind of day trip or fantasy land and start separating real from imagined. And so then it comes down to which cup will you choose and which cup will you lose. And the Two of Swords, as I mentioned, also is a decision card, but it's indecision in the face of opposing forces. And right now you're at a crossroads of a very difficult decision. You know, all two cards are about planning and decisions, balance and partnership. And in this instance, confusion has set in and you don't know which way to turn. There's challenges and obstacles laying ahead, and it's discouraging, even for those with a strong disposition. It's time for you to do some soul searching to find a resolution to your particular dilemma. And you know, you have to understand too that not making a decision is a decision in itself, and at times the cosmos will take a handle on things and make one for you. And this might not be to your liking. Now the Emperor is about overseeing organization, structure, and responsibility with rules and regulations to manage his empire. But in this instance, the Emperor personifies you because Aries rules the Emperor card. You'll see rams on the armrests of his throne. The Emperor symbolizes power, leadership, authority, and vigilant governance. Decisions are made in his chamber with logic and reason. He leaves the emotional decisions to his soulmate, the Empress. He's like a CEO of a company, all the way down to the patriarch of a family. And he's here to assist you in running the microcosm of your personal empire. And he's here to assist you also into making good decisions, logic and reason-based decisions. Okay, and then the 3 dice down on the bottom, you receive Gemini, Saturn, and the 8th house. Connecting the dice right away to the cards says to me that all roads lead to Rome, or more precisely to the Emperor. He's the key to this reading. You know, the 8th house brings in the idea that death and taxes are the only thing you can depend on in life. However, with the 8th house involved in it, you got your hands in the cookie jar of joint finances and other people's money. Initiatives and discipline hit the forefront. The combination of the cards above and the dice indicate that you will find new and exciting ways of conducting old mundane business into prospering new business affairs. That is if you're not turned off by listening to other people's opinions and indulging in self-justification to sway personal interests into your favor. Then all bets are off. Diplomacy can be really sweet and also your ticket to success. Although solutions to pending problems must be based on the value of your product or the usefulness of your service. Intellect will be strong with heavy emphasis on details of legal contracts and agreements as well as the sciences for some reason. Candid words conveyed to you are spoken by you, set the stage for establishing priorities. Disturbing dreams bring spiritual insight from astral projection encounters.